YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Rowdy, and we back at it again with another vid. I wanted to kind of appreciate you guys and show my appreciation for following me on this journey as I grow as a content creator. And I want to continue to bring you guys content, so please like, comment, subscribe, and share if you can. It's free. I'm not asking for nothing else. That's all I'm asking for. But anyway, today we got a vid from The View. We're going to react to them melting down about the full blanket pardon that Donald Trump had just decided to give out. And I think it's kind of ironic because they're upset about Trump's pardon, but Biden just had a pardon, and he kind of pardoned a lot of people who were not necessarily convicted, but could have been. I guess they felt from what I know, he pardoned people from that allegedly could have been convicted of crimes or of anything of that sort, kind of just giving them full immunity before, so they cannot be prosecuted for anything that happened on that fateful day, and trying to go after Trump about what happened on that fateful day. So I'm interested to kind of see how it's going to, well, there's not much that could really happen. But what I'm interested in seeing is their point of view and how they kind of address the situation, because I don't agree with the either pardons at all. But considering that they tried to throw Trump in jail, I can understand them being afraid that he's going to be on some kind of warpath to get them back. However, in my opinion, if you did not commit a crime, what do you need to be pardoned for? Do you feel like he's just going to fabricate something or throw something or create something from scratch and just be like, you know what, this is what happened? Because that's kind of what was done with him. I mean, 34 felonies for the same tax document is kind of insane. Anyway, I want to get to The View and kind of hear their ideas and their, what they have to say about it. And, if they need pushback, I'm here to provide it. And if I agree, I'm gonna also say that as well. But anyway, let's get right to it.
So the largest federal police union in America endorsed Trump in the 2024 election. That's a fact. And now they're engaged over his broad pardon. Enraged, I'm sorry. Yeah. They're enraged over his broad pardon of January 6th Capitol insurrectionists. But yesterday, Trump doubled down on his decision. Take a look.
Mr. President, you're a president who has long said that you back the blue, but aren't you sending the message that assaulting officers is okay with these pardons?
No, the opposite. I am the friend of police more than any president that's ever been in this office. They served years in jail. And if you look at the American public is tired of it. Take a look at the election.
Before she goes, I don't feel like he's wrong. America has spoken. And to continue to beat this dead horse after all this time, it's time to just let it go. Biden pardoned his people. Trump pardoned his. Let that go. Nobody wants to hear about J6 anymore. It's over and done with. Let's move on and talk about more important things.
Some of the Capitol cops who were brutally attacked that day are calling him out for this also. Watch this one now.
I mean, it's outrageous, but not surprising.
I have not had any experience that would suggest he is a friend of the police. I think what he's a friend of is anyone who elevates his position.
So question, does the Republican Party, do they need to make up their mind? Are they pro-police or not? So what say you?
Well, I think it's more about crime in general and when people commit crimes, because veering off the January 6 pardons, there was one that was a pardon that Donald Trump gave that was kind of hidden among them. I don't know if you guys have heard of the man who created the Silk Road. His name was Ross Ulbricht. Mm-hmm. And he made a marketplace outside of the law enforcement, the realm of law enforcement, selling drugs like heroin, cocaine, weapons, pornography, it was called the dark web.
Yeah.
And 6 deaths were attributed to drugs that were sold on that website. He pardoned him yesterday. So right now we have him marching into schools and churches to get rid of immigrants who must be criminals, while he allows a criminal, because he's American, to just come out of prison.
She's right to a certain extent. The only thing I would say is inconsistent is saying that he does not back the cops and he does not back police. But the fact of the matter is, everybody in that scenario she's given on both sides are criminals. If you enter the country illegally, you are a criminal. If you commit a crime, in the crimes that he committed, it's not the magnitude of the crime. Crime is crime. So with that being said, what she said isn't necessarily moot, but considering that both situations, like I'm saying, she's right to a certain extent. If everybody in that scenario is a criminal, what are we talking about? And again, there were people that Biden pardoned. So we can sit there and continue to whine about Trump's pardon. But Biden pardoned people. If they were free of any crimes, what are you needing a pardon for? And if they weren't free of any crimes, then that's a telltale sign that there's a lot of corruption on the left.
I was particularly, as a former federal prosecutor, struck by the fact that he would pardon over 1,500 people, especially those that were violent towards law enforcement officers. And I will say this, if there is no accountability, people will be emboldened to do more. Finish with this, Pam Hemphill, who was a South Carolina resident, she served a federal prison sentence for her role in the riot. She said this in a video posted to X yesterday. I will not accept a pardon because that would be an insult to the Capitol police officers, to the rule of law, and to the nation. I pleaded guilty because I was guilty.
So let me tell you, this is annoying and I'm about sick of hearing it. They, first of all, were already in jail. So they were convicted and they did serve jail time. I'm not sure how long they were supposed to be in jail. Obviously, they weren't going to be in jail for life. But to sit there and say that they are just being exonerated and they did not have to serve any jail time is foolish. So these people, in a way, did serve for the crimes that they committed. So there was justice. So what is the conversation being had here? Like, come on.
Knowing that the president of the United States does not have their back. He's got the back of his supporters who attacked them, who caused the death of some of their colleagues. This is outrageous. And
oh, that's a bad standstill. My bad, Anna. But anyway, small conspiracy. So, considering that these officers took their lives, and I want them to rest in peace, please. And in YouTube, I'm not saying anything crazy, but I'm just saying, as a conspiracy, I could be completely wrong. You can call me insane, whatever. But there's rumors that there were some rumblings that people who helped start the riots were insider people from the left. And these insider people were law enforcement. How far-fetched in this hypothetical would it be if those law enforcement people who decided to self-delete were people who were actually within the inner workings, and they wanted to kind of erase the fact that they started it? So, because they understood if they would have been seen and people could have pointed them out, they could have been like, this is where this person was, and this is what this person had going on, blah, blah, blah. Just think about that. Some food for thought.
I don't care how pro-Trump you are. I don't care how Republican you are. You have a choice. This is not about right and left. This is about right and wrong. I was hearing Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House that was attacked on January 6th, making all sorts of the most lame excuses. A human being. I mean, I just don't know how you stand up without a spine.
Okay.
The people, this is what she's doing, so I'm going to do it too. The people have served in jail. I don't know how long they were supposed to be there, but there is some form of justice. They did go to jail. So to act like they didn't go to jail and pretend there was no form of justice is asinine. They went to jail.
There's no defense
sense of these pardons. The Wall Street Journal editorial board, which is right of center, condemned it and said that this is disrespectful to police and law enforcement who protect us. I've become friends with some of the officers like Michael Fanone and Harry Dunn who were injured that day. It's terrible.
They went to jail.
Here's what I'll say. One of the worst side effects of the Trump era is that because Donald Trump does so many things that are bad, we start to then say, well, other things aren't as bad that other politicians do because Donald Trump did something worse. And what happens is it becomes a race to the bottom. There's no whataboutism. This was just despicable that he would pardon these violent offenders. But I also want to have the conversation about the Joe Biden pardons. I think that it does matter. If we're living in a country where the rule of law matters, where no one is above the law, and where the precedents and the norms that we set matter and our institutions matter, I do think it warrants more scrutiny and more discussion. And there's a reason that even Democrats today are condemning the fact that Joe Biden, despite saying he would not pardon Hunter and he would not pardon his family, and condemning Donald Trump for considering blanket pardons the last term, then went in the final moments of his presidency and did it. That does damage to our democracy. And if we don't keep lowering the bar.
Joe Biden lost 2 other children. He lost 2 children.
And I've said
to be in a position and not protect the one child that he has.
Why his brother, his brother's wife, his sister,
They don't never let her finish no point. And she always is a voice of reason to a certain extent. Listen, I got you, feel me? What she is trying to get across, and they keep cutting her off. Every video they cut her off. She's saying we can't sit there and try to be hypocrites and overlook that Biden did pardon his son after saying he wouldn't. Now, why the hell you gonna say I'm not going to pardon my son if in the end you're going to? We know what you've gone through. We know Biden has lost a lot. We understand. So why would you tell us, understanding you lost everything, why would you tell us you're going to pardon your son? That's stupid. If you ain't going to do it, or if you're just going to do it, that's dumb. It's very foolish, and it's very annoying and disingenuous for them to continue to lie like this and pretend that what Biden, they keep putting Biden on this pedestal like he's just so wonderful. I believe a lot of people are corrupt. Biden's corrupt, and you can say there's a lot of corruption with Trump. Me personally, I feel like there's a lot less corruption with Trump because what we see a lot more with Trump. We know nothing about Biden. Absolutely nothing. We know about his son, that he had a drug problem and what he was doing, but we don't know the inner workings about what he was doing in these other foreign countries, i.e. Ukraine. Again, we know some, if not a lot, of what Trump has done because Trump has always been an icon. He's always been out in the open. So because he's been a celebrity for a long time, he's only going to have but so much privacy. But these political people, Nancy Pelosi, the Obamas, the Clintons, other presidents, the Bushes, we only know what they've done in office, and we only know what they want us to know and what we see. Trump don't have that choice. They put his information on Front Street, and then they sit there and flaunt it and try to throw him in jail over it.
Matt Gaetz, Rudy Giuliani, and others allegedly asked for blanket pardons, and he actually declined to give them. Donald Trump stuck to some norms and didn't. He pardoned some other folks like Roger Stone. Now this gives him
father,
who did serve time, though.
Yeah.
He gave any future precedent they can point to, directing staff and family members to commit crimes, and you will get a blanket pardon.
So, final thoughts. I feel like there's a whole lot of hypocrisy that we often overlook because we want to sit there and just feel good. Biden was the feel-good president. Kamala could have been the feel-good president. But Trump is making people uneasy because in order for us to be able to improve, it's going to get ugly before it gets pretty. And it has to, because we've put this country in such a disarray and such a disadvantage. We are being laughed at by other countries. We're not being laughed at because Trump is the president. No, we're being laughed at because of the decisions that were made in his predecessors. So in order for us to be able to recover, we have to allow certain things to happen. We have to allow the illegals to be taken care of the way they need to be taken care of. And listen, I don't believe that these illegals, all of them are going to be able to be gone because just like before, there was always ICE was always a thing. I don't know if people understand that. There was always the fear of deportation. Before these 4 years, there was an imminent fear of deportation. If you, just like it is now, to act like this is new is almost asinine. Downright foolish. This is nothing new. This is nothing that we've never heard of back when Biden or Obama was the president, even before Trump was his first term. This is what happened. So to pretend that this is not what happened, you're insane. But like I said earlier, I appreciate you guys for everything. Please continue to follow, like, comment, and subscribe, and share. All of that is free. It don't take nothing. Just boom, boom, boom. You know, and I want to continue to lock in and converse with you guys. If you don't like me, you don't like what I'm talking about, let's talk about it. You know, give me your input, give me your thought processes, and let me know how you feel. Feel me? I am not here to stop and deter anybody in their thought process. I'm here for a healthy debate. A healthy debate. We will not be disrespectful, but if we can talk. And if you want to educate me, that's fine. And I'm going to educate you as well. But anyway, y'all take it easy. Peace.